Ever wonder what it feels like to have it all, and then watch it all crumble? To sit on a throne of gold one day, and find yourself in the dust the next? Today, we're diving into the jaw-dropping stories of 10 billionaires who experienced the ultimate financial freefall. These aren't just tales of bad investments, they are epic sagas of ambition, downfall, and the shocking fragility of wealth. From titans of industry to fraudulent geniuses, get ready for a roller coaster ride through the most dramatic financial collapses in modern history. Starting our countdown at number 10 is Alan Stanford. Picture this, a charismatic Texan who builds a massive offshore banking empire. He was Sir Alan Stanford, knighted in Antigua, living a life of unimaginable luxury with private jets and his own cricket league. His Stanford Financial Group promised impossibly high, safe returns. Investors flocked to him, pouring in billions. But behind the curtain of opulence was a colossal Ponzi scheme. In 2009, the whole charade came crashing down. The safe investments were pure fiction. Stanford was convicted of fraud, his $2 billion fortune vanished, and he was sentenced to 110 years in prison, trading his private island for a prison cell. A chilling reminder that if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. At number 9, we have the Queen of Versailles herself, or rather her husband, David Siegel. The founder of Westgate Resorts, the largest timeshare company in the world, Siegel was riding high. He and his wife Jackie were building the largest home in America, a 90,000 square foot mansion modeled after the Palace of Versailles. Their life was a spectacle of excess. Then, the 2008 financial crisis hit. The credit market froze, and the timeshare business, heavily reliant on financing, was crippled. Their fortune, once estimated at over $1 billion, evaporated almost overnight. Construction on Versailles halted, their company teetered on the brink of bankruptcy, and they were forced to lay off thousands of employees. It was a brutal lesson in how quickly a market crash can humble even the mightiest of moguls. Coming in at number 8 is the tragic story of Adolf Merkel. He was once Germany's richest man, a discreet industrialist who inherited a small chemical company and transformed it into a vast empire worth over $12 billion, spanning pharmaceuticals and construction. Merkel was a shrewd, old-school investor, but he made a catastrophic gamble. He took a massive short position on Volkswagen stock, betting that its price would fall. Instead, in a legendary market event, Porsche announced its intention to take over VW, causing VW's stock to skyrocket in one of the biggest short squeezes in history. Merkel lost hundreds of millions, possibly billions, in a matter of days. Facing financial ruin and unable to cope with the shame of his failure, he tragically took his own life in 2009, leaving a note that simply said, "I'm sorry." At number 7, we journey to Brazil to meet Ike Batista. In 2012, Batista was the 7th richest person in the world, with a net worth of $35 billion. He was the face of Brazil's booming economy, a flamboyant tycoon with interests in mining oil and gas. He boldly predicted he would become the world's richest man. But his empire was built on a foundation of promises and debt. His oil company, OGX, failed to deliver on its ambitious production forecasts. The oil wells were mostly dry. Investor confidence shattered, and a chain reaction began. Stock prices plummeted, his companies collapsed under a mountain of debt, and his entire fortune was wiped out. He went from a national hero to being under house arrest, a spectacular fall from grace fueled by hubris and hot air. Number 6 is beer golfer Gudmundsson. Before the 2008 crash, he was Iceland's second-ever billionaire and its richest man. Along with his son, he was the majority owner of Landsbanki, Iceland's second-largest bank, and the owner of the English Premier League football club, West Ham United. Life was good. But the Icelandic banking system was a house of cards, built on risky international borrowing. When the global financial crisis struck, the house collapsed. The Icelandic banks, including Landsbanki, failed spectacularly. Gudmundsson was declared bankrupt, his billion-dollar fortune completely erased. He lost the bank, the football club, and his status, becoming a symbol of the national economic disaster. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Sean Quinn, once Ireland's richest man. He started with nothing, quarrying gravel from his family farm, and built a sprawling business empire called the Quinn Group, involved in everything from cement to insurance. At his peak, his net worth was estimated at $6 billion. His fatal mistake. He gambled heavily on the shares of Anglo-Irish Bank, using complex financial instruments to build up a massive, secret stake. When the Irish property bubble burst and the bank's stock nosedived, Quinn's bets turned catastrophic. He lost everything. The bank was nationalized, and Quinn was declared bankrupt with debts of over €2 billion. He went from being a national icon to a cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked speculation. At number 4, we have a name synonymous with corporate scandal, Bernie Madoff. For decades, Madoff was a Wall Street legend, a former chairman of the Nasdaq Stock Exchange whose investment firm delivered consistent, incredible returns. He was trusted, respected, and his client list was a who's who of the rich and famous. The reality? It was all a lie. The single largest Ponzi scheme in history. He wasn't investing the money at all. He was just using new investors' cash to pay off old ones. When the 2008 crisis triggered a wave of withdrawals he couldn't honor, the scheme unraveled. His estimated $65 billion fraud wiped out fortunes, charities, and life savings. Madoff's personal wealth, built on deceit, vanished as he was sentenced to 150 years in prison, where he died in 2021. Cracking our top 3 is Masayoshi Son. While he hasn't lost everything and remains a billionaire, his story features the single largest personal financial loss in history. The founder of SoftBank, Son was a tech investing visionary. During the dot-com boom of the late 90s, his wealth soared to an estimated $76 billion, making him, for a brief time, richer than Bill Gates. Then the bubble burst in 2000. Tech stocks crashed, and Son's fortune imploded. He lost an estimated $70 billion, a staggering, almost incomprehensible amount. It is a testament to his resilience that he managed to rebuild SoftBank into the powerhouse it is today with its Vision Fund, but that historic loss serves as a permanent, terrifying reminder of the volatility of the tech world. Our runner-up at number 2 is Yasumitsu Shigeru. Another casualty of the dot-com bust, Shigeru was the founder of Hikari Sushin, a Japanese mobile phone retailer. He was a young, aggressive entrepreneur who became a billionaire sensation. At the market's peak in 2000, his stake in the company was worth an eye-watering $42 billion. He was Japan's richest man and one of the wealthiest in the world. But his business model was flawed, and when the tech bubble popped, investors fled. The stock price of Hikari Sushin collapsed by over 99%. In just a matter of weeks, Shigeru's personal fortune plummeted from $42 billion to less than $500 million. He lost over $41 billion, one of the fastest and most brutal wealth evaporations ever recorded. And now, the number 1 billionaire who lost it all, Jerome Kerviel. This story is different. Kerviel was never officially a billionaire, but he controlled trades that could have made or lost billions, and ultimately caused one of the biggest losses in banking history. He was a junior trader at the French bank Société Générale. Through a series of unauthorized, rogue trades, he secretly wagered an unbelievable €50 billion more than the entire value of the bank on the direction of the stock market. For a time, he was making huge profits. But when the market turned against him in early 2008, his positions began to hemorrhage cash. When the bank discovered his secret trades and frantically tried to unwind them, it resulted in a loss of €4.9 billion, or about $7.2 billion at the time. Kerviel himself made no personal profit. He was fired, sued, and briefly jailed, becoming the man responsible for the single largest loss by a rogue trader in history. His actions brought a global financial institution to its knees, a truly mind-boggling story of a single employee's colossal, unauthorized gamble. From fraudulent schemes to disastrous market bets, these stories show that fortunes, no matter how vast, can be incredibly fragile. It's a wild world out there in the high-stakes game of wealth. What did you think of our list? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of high finance and epic failure, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.